Hi and welcome. My name is Johanna and here's my twin ray,
Johan.
and today we will talk about hope and what can give us hope. What can give you hope and everything in your life? You tried everything and nothing doesn't work. So what can give you hope? Maybe there is a plan for us that we can, a road we can travel. Maybe we have come away from our road and we can find the road back again. And what could be the solution to find the road?
You ask me?
Yes.
Yeah, we're sitting here in nature in this beautiful forest, and yeah, I feel hope by nature, because nature gives hope. And this thing we are talking about, that every person have a definite path in life, and this path we are supposed to travel in life. And it's a kind of synchronicity in this path, that because everything makes sense when you are on this path. And it is kind of, you take a jump in somewhere in your life and follow your true longing. The longing for actually your higher self or your true self. And when you go this path, everything starts to make sense. Even if it's a thick forest sometimes within you and like this, but you feel that you're on this path. And we are talking about astrology and how the astrology chart telling about this path. Like in Vedic astrology, which I am working with since many years, you're talking about this dharma, to do the right thing, the right action, and follow this dharmic path you're supposed to be on. And it's always hope there, even if the situation is very, very down, sometimes very sad things happen in your life. But because you're on this path, you have always this hope. Something like that, yeah.
So if everything is like sucked and terrible in your life, so what can you do? You can find someone who looks up your astrological path, and you can change your life. You can really take steps from the bad things and change it to the better and better when you get to know all the planets. So it's very, very interesting how you can take control, and you can just do the right things that will change your life to the better, the best life you want to live. So for me it was, I had everything in my life was very stuck, and it was like terrible and chaos. But then I find this astrological chart, and I started to study it, and it was like really changing from every point. So it was like very, very bad to getting better and better, and I started to understand much deeper what I was supposed to do to change all areas in my life. So can you tell me more, why is Vedic astrology in ancient cultures, is it important, or did they teach everyone Vedic astrology?
Yes, this was the basic of their knowledge, because in all the ancient culture you're thinking about how to bring the heavens down to earth. You can see it in all the architecture of the old people, you know, and the temples and the pyramids like this, that they're actually taking the stars down to earth and try to manifest them as a symbol. And each person have this universe around them, and the stars around them, and the planets is within their own chakras, you could say. And all these planets and all these stars is supposed to integrate here on earth. That's why you pray, you know, as in heaven, so on earth, you know. And this is supposed to live here in the paradise, and the divine is supposed to take form here on earth. And this is what the astrology chart is telling you, how to do this. How is your heaven is supposed to look at on earth? What is supposed to look, your garden, you could say. How should it look? And then you can start to bringing this down to earth, and you start to follow this instruction of this chart. And it's really the mystical chart, you know. You have this on your hands also, the same chart. Men have it on the right hand, the woman on the left hand. The same thing, you know, telling the same story. Also, sometimes if you study numerology, the numbers, you know, by your birth, telling also this story. But astrology should be the most broad way of looking in it, the most detailed, and most easy to say, tell all the facts, because it's very complex, the pattern you can see, and how to integrate this pattern. And it's always very hopeful.
Yes. So if I'm on my way and I want to travel to France and I end up in Moscow, and I start to ask my question why I didn't come to France, and maybe there is a lot of things happening on the road when I go to Moscow. Maybe there will be terrible things happen, and you don't understand why you don't reach the destiny that you was thinking on. So there you can compare to the astrology chart. If you're not living your highest life, then you will go to different kind of cities where you're not supposed to go. It could be right, or it could be on your way, but it could be easier to find a way straight away to France. So you could just look like you have a road map, and you travel with your map. It's easier to find the destiny when you have your map. And that's what the Vedic astrology had done to me. I had a way to follow, and it was much easier than not have a destiny and not have a map to follow. So I think it's very important to teach this astrology knowledge to even young kids. How do you think about that?
Yes, I think we should start very early in life to look into this chart and understand the path of every person, and so we can guide them in a proper direction, and we should spare many years of suffering, because we suffer so much because we go the wrong path. If we should find it more earlier, you know, and start to working with the karma and their these tendencies of very difficult things in a very early childhood. I think you should follow that instruction they have in the old times. You start to heal people directly from birth, or actually before birth. Before conceiving a child, you should start to understand the astrology and the heavens, and start to understand that you're bringing down a soul from the heavens down to earth, and start to take responsibility from the moment of conceiving. And we have to conceive in deep love and deep respect, not as it today when you do it just by chance. We have to start to be conscious in every direction, in every facet of life.
And with help of the astrology, we can get more and more consciousness, because we understand what we have to do, the next thing. And it's step by step. We have to take one step at a time and just follow the road we have planned when we were in higher realms. So what is the difference between Vedic and Western astrology?
The Western astrology is our equinoxes relationship to the sun. So it's actually nothing to do with the heavens. The heavens is taken away in the Western astrology, because it doesn't correspond to the heavens. This you can see very easy when you look at the full moon, like the last full moon was in Capricorn according to Western astrology. But if you go out and look at the moon, you will see it in Sagittarius. So it's very easy to understand the difference when you see, especially the moon, and it's coming full moon, you can see it in certain star constellations and see that it corresponds with the heavens when you look at the Vedic chart, but not in the Western chart. So you are not in relationship to heaven in Western astrology. So it's not a starry science actually, the Western way. I don't say that it's wrong or right or something like this, but they have nothing to do with the heavens, and it's very symbolic, I suppose. If you look at the symbolic, you take away the heavens, you take away God from the equation. And this is the work of the Vatican, actually. And people don't know this, that the Vatican wanted to have their own right to the heavens and to God. So the astrologists get it taken away, you know, this way of looking at it. Because in the past time you're looking at the heavens and follow the moon and the stars, and you don't do that in Western astrology. That's the difference.
So can we say the Vedic astrology is more deep?
Yes.
It's more deep into your soul?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. Yes. So it's not only reading what's this week, it's how you take a chart of your chart.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So if we talk about hope and we do the conclusion to hope, so why are we meaning that the Vedic astrology could help people that have tried everything? Why do we mean that they can find their right path, even if their life is very, very terrible and bad things are happening? How can we say that the Vedic astrology will give them hope?
I suppose it's saying, you know, that the stars is giving you hope, you know, you're wishing upon a star, yes, you know, and you're traveling by boat, you follow the constellation and the pole star and like this when you're crossing the ocean and like this. So the stars is, you know, the light and the guidance in our own night, you could say, yeah. So when we are in our own night, in our darkness, the stars is lighting up everything. So I suppose this is the heavens and the stars is giving us this hope, because it's telling us our path, you know. We follow in the inner star coordination, you could say. So this is the hope we have on earth. Otherwise you are very alone on this earth, very separated from the universe.
Yes.
But here you get back the universe and you feel that you're part of the universe, you're part of a bigger plan and a bigger life. And this is very, very hopeful, yes.
And this is also a study of the universe from within.
Yes.
How you can change your own universe to be the same as outside. So you can really start to understand the universe from within and understand the universe from without. Because it's just a very deep studying of yourself. How you can change and transform your life. Okay?
Yes, microcosm and microcosm, yes. Of course it is telling about the creation.
Yes. Okay, this was our video about hope. Yeah. And we will soon give you another one, maybe about unconditional love. So see you next week. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.